Hey, I'm Stephanie, and this is Dirty Money Talk, where I interview my favorite entrepreneurs and influencers to help release the stigma of discussing the F word, finances, baby. Let's do this. Thank you. Thank you so much and welcome. Today, we're going to get into the Dirty Money Talk. This is the Dirty Money Talk podcast. In case you haven't figured that part out, I'm your host, Stephanie Arrington. Here's my co-host. He'll introduce himself.
Dale Walton, Dirty Money, y'all.
Dale Walton, Dirty Money, baby.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. So what you got for the Black Wall Street update this week? What came across your timeline?
Well, what came across me was there's a chip shortage right now. You know, of course, I'm gonna keep it on the tech side of things. There's a chip shortage.
What is a chip? What type of chip?
Computer.
It better not be Lay's or
No, it ain't Lay's. It ain't Lay's and it ain't Pringles.
Or Martin's.
It's computer chips, right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so these computer chips are causing a massive shortage in things. And how this relates to finances is because when there's a shortage in supply, you know, demand goes up, and what goes up after that? The price.
Right.
So things are going up. Like if you go to turn in, and it's affecting everything, like especially cars. If you go into turning your car, you'll notice you'll get a lot more money back from it for it now than you probably ever would imagine that you would have got back for it. Because they're paying top dollar for used cars right now because there's a car shortage. Because they can't make the cars. Yes, there's a car shortage because they don't have the chips. You know, these newer cars are all about computers now, right? So these chips are the decrease in the amount of chips is decreasing the amount of cars that they can manufacture. So there's actually a car shortage right now. And people are getting massive amounts of returns on trading their car in right now. And I mean, maybe $8,000 over what you normally would have got for it. That's how pressed they are.
So what are the chips made of for the audience? What are the chips made of, and how and where are they manufactured?
Oh, so they're just standard silicon chips. You know, if anybody knows computers, they're all ran by a motherboard, right? And it could be the smallest thing in the world. But even like a remote control has a board in it, controlling it, right? And there's usually some kind of central chip in there that controls where everything goes, where all that data goes, right? When you press buttons and when you do certain things, it reacts, you know, electronically on the other side. So these chips are just standard silicone chips. You know, some of the bigger manufacturers are like Qualcomm and Advanced Micro Devices. You know, those are the manufacturers of the chips that goes into cars mostly. You know, but they also affect other things that we use, like cell phones, right? So now Apple's being affected. They can't produce the right amount. They can't produce enough iPhones because they use these chips as well. So that's probably gonna go up soon.
What you mean, the price of the iPhone or price of phones?
Of the iPhone. If they do not get that chip problem fixed soon, it will be the price of the iPhone is gonna go way up, and you know they're already expensive.
Do you know what has caused the shortage?
What has caused the what?
The shortage. Why are there not enough chips all of a sudden, or not enough materials to produce the amount that we need?
Well, I think what happened is we're getting so far into the electronic age that there's so much demand for it, and we didn't really ramp up the production or make more plants and stuff to produce more of the chips, because you know now everybody got a smart TV. You know, you can't buy everything has these chips in it now that didn't have before. Now every TV is a smart TV, right? Now your car doesn't need just one chip; it needs several chips. It has a chip for the transmission, it has a chip for your little entertainment system that you got right there that you can push the buttons on with the touch screen. Then you got one for the dial, because that's computerized now. Those are not even mechanical anymore. So the demand for the amount of went up, but they didn't increase the amount of manufacturing they do or manufacturers they have. So eventually what was happening is Qualcomm and Advanced Micro Devices, places like that, they were just increasing what they were doing. And don't forget stuff like Teslas. Like Tesla's a completely computerized car. You know, um, as things like that, like new ventures like that coming to the market, demand goes up for those devices, those chips that they're using to control those devices. And they just never, more manufacturers just didn't pop up. You know what I'm saying? So what they were doing before, just ramping up production, where you only have a certain amount of production that you can ramp up to in the same facilities before you start losing quality of product, right? Because if you ramp it up too fast, quality of product goes out the window, and those chips become useless.
Conversely, would there be, now I know there would be a huge motive, but how likely is it that companies like Apple could intentionally impact the production of the chip to drive the price up? Are they also involved in chip manufacturing?
No, Apple actually,
like,
Apple actually does not manufacture their own chip. Well, okay, so what big companies like Apple do and Samsung actually manufacture chips. They actually do. But what big companies like that do, they will just take over another company that does it.
Which is buy you out. Okay.
Yeah, they'll just buy out a company that does it, and then they'll be producing their own chips. But
well, that's
so
another way to beat your competition. Buy their ass out.
Companies do it all the time. Look at Microsoft's history. They absorb everything. Remember back in the day when there used to be web browsers, and there used to be separate software to burn CDs, and there used to be separate software that you can just name anything. It used to be just to browse the internet. It was a separate software, that you had to go purchase. Well, that's what Microsoft does. They just obtain those companies and blend it into their own stuff to Windows. So now Windows just does it without you having to do any of that. So these other companies do that same thing. If they found that they're purchasing something too much from a same company, sometimes they'll just acquire that company, and that way they're not paying them anything.
That's how you do it. I mean, we either look, if you can't beat them, eat them. No way. I don't think I want to promote that slogan either.
Yeah, but that. So look, number one, check with your wherever you can, a car dealership. See how much you can get back for a trade-in right now. See how much you can get back for a trade-in right now. You'll be surprised how much you get back for right now, because what happens is, like I said, they can't make new cars, so that makes used cars a lot more valuable. Wow. And they're running out of used cars because people buy used cars. They can't produce enough new cars. So now the used car market is gone up. The demand has gone way up.
How is that impacting the rental car market? I've heard that there's also a shortage. So to me, there's no coincidence that's related, right?
Cars, exactly. They can't get new cars. See, rental cars, if you look at them, most time you go to a rental car, they got newer cars. You don't get old cars from rental places. They're always newer cars, 1 or 2 years old. That's it. Mm-hmm. After that, they cycle them through. Well, those 1 or 2 years pass by, and rental cars, remember, during COVID, there weren't people renting cars. There was no travel. So if there's no travel, there's no rental car. So rental cars they got two things going for them. They can't get enough new cars, and they lost a year of revenue pretty much. So they're trying to make up for that.
So then we have some upcoming as I would call them, upcomers in the industry like Turo. So they're basically like the Airbnb of cars. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I mean, if it works for Airbnb, and I heard about that, people could actually rent out and lease out their own cars. You look at some of these places. That's what like Uber and Lyft and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's another avenue for people to make money. You know, they're
Yep.
like a million and one of them now. But there's just another avenue for people to make money. It's a good idea though. You know, you can
Yeah.
go get top price when a car maybe you're not driving it for a while. I mean, you put wear and tear on your car, but you're making the money back on it.
Yeah, but look at it also. Like, what if you went out and bought you a couple of fixer uppers and get them to, again, not nothing entirely old, but you buy a few used one just for that purpose. So you're not putting no wear and tear on your real car. Buy you a
Pay
couple
for
of
itself,
joints and
right?
work it out.
Yeah, they could actually end up paying
Free
for itself.
jewelry, y'all. Free jewelry. We just dropping free jewelry on y'all today.
Gems, dropping gems.
That's a good segue into what we really wanted to holler at y'all about today, which is credit. So Dale and I was talking offline. There are so many components to credit and credit worthiness that I think that a lot of our audience may not know. So we're going to talk to you guys a lot about personal credit, building, maintaining, destroying. No, we don't want to talk to you about destroying your credit, although I'm sure you may have done
We
that
don't want to
already.
talk about that.
I mean, we don't want to talk about it, but I'm sure it has happened. That's why it's the dirty money talk, because we talk about that dirty stuff. There's some dirty stuff. So,
Let's talk about the dirty stuff.
so Dale, why don't you lead in and tell our audience what credit is? And we're US based, y'all. So we're gonna give it to you from the perspective of where we are.
Okay, so what is credit? I mean, credit basically is a way for companies, and I'm gonna tell you just raw what it is. I'm not gonna give you like technical
Give it to
terms and
him.
all that stuff.
Give it to him raw. Give it to
I'm
him
just
raw.
going, ooh, baby, I like it raw. We're gonna give it to you raw. It's basically a way for companies to determine who's who they can most make money off of, and I'm putting in the most simplest layman terms, right? So what that credit score and that history does is it shows that you are willing to pay. Number one, you're willing to pay interest, right, on money, and you're good at paying that interest back, right? That
Mm-hmm.
when lenders actually lended you this money, you not only were willing to pay the interest, you paid it back gladly, right? If you show that you're gladly paying this back, we're going to give you a good score, right? So now
Right.
other people know you're credit worthy. That I could give you money, I could charge you 15, 12%. You're going to pay it back gladly because that's what your history says you do. And that's what it is in a nutshell,
Okay.
right? It's nothing real special to it. That's really what it is. That's why if you don't have any, it's kind of bad for you because they can't tell. And now you're a risk to them.
Let's
So
break
that's
this
why they
down.
all
Let's put this in relatable terms and stuff in case we have um, audience members who are transitioning from struggle economics into some more positive financial independence type chats. Let's find out, like, what did that look like? Now, imagine you and me go to school together. Okay, we go to school together, and I'm asking you, can you lend me some money to buy these books for my class? Things that you would take note of about me that would make you feel comfortable enough to loan me $500 for this semester's books.
right. Now with this $500, I gave you stipulations. I said, okay, so you're gonna pay me back. Let's make it a nice even number, 10%. So you're gonna pay me back $50 for
Mm-hmm.
this $500 that I'm lending you, just for me letting you lend it, and you're gonna pay it back in increments of $100 a month.
Okay.
Right? So it'll take you
Until it's
5 months, a little bit over 5 months, right? It'll take you a little bit over 5 months to pay that back. So maybe you pay, or we can leave it at 5 months and you just give me, you know, $110 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying me $110 a month. Now, every month you give me that, I mark it down on your credit on my little checklist. Oh yeah, she paid that first one. She paid that second one. Now let's say you missed the third one, right? I put a red mark on there like, uh-oh, she not coding up
Ain't
her
you
end of the
gonna
bargain.
call me and ask me? You don't want to hear my excuse?
Well, no, I just want the report. I don't even care what the excuse is. It's late.
Okay, because you treating me like a company.
I'm treating you like a company, but we're putting it in layman terms. So
Okay.
you didn't pay that third month. Uh-oh. Now, how long did it take you to actually pay me now? Because now we're talking about the first one is 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I start off the market yellow. 60 days, I make it orange. And then if you don't pay the next one, now it's 90 days. I make that red, and that's a uh-oh. That's a uh-oh, no.
So you make it red because you mad? Is that what it's
Because
doing?
I'm really, really mad.
Okay.
Because I still got $225 out there that I'm supposed to get back, and you haven't been paying it back.
But you a company,
As promised.
you don't really need it though. You a whole big company. Like why I gotta give it back?
Yeah, but I need to know, let all my friends know, because you're going to ask them for money too.
Ah, so you gonna throw a little salt in the game and make sure I can't eat? Okay.
Oh, yeah, we put it on social media. We post it on bulletin boards.
Wait a
We
minute,
put it
wait a
on
minute, wait a
YouTube.
minute, wait a minute. Equifax is posting shit on social media.
They can find out what you
We're
got.
gonna name names right now, y'all. So we got Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Is that who it is? Those are the three credit bureaus that apply for individual personal credit. Okay.
Yes.
Now, as we discuss, business credit is similar. It's just that the way you go about building business credit depends on a few different variables than personal. For example,
Mhm.
business credit is kind of like dependent upon initially your personal credit. So if you're trying to secure a credit card for your company and you don't have any business credit established, which most companies won't have intentionally, it's not something you can develop by accident. Um, so you're looking at they're looking at your personal credit worthiness. So the example that he just explained about how often you pay it on time, how often you pay it in full, and also the amount that you leave on the card. So some
Right.
people may advise you, pay it all off, but that doesn't build your credit score when you pay it all off. They like
Right.
to see that you can maintain um, like a certain minimum usage on your card. So now
Or
it,
revolving credit, as they call it.
revolving credit, that would be like a credit card. Okay, that's different than a charge account, which is like an Amex, where they expect payment in full in 30 days. That's the trick. That's similar to what they look at in business credit because they want to see trade references. So they want to see what other companies you do business with. And a lot of credit building programs will tell you that you should, pick a certain type of account. One common recommendation is quill.com. Quill.com is basically like an office supply company similar to Staples or Office Depot, depending on where you are. And they want you to open up a Quill account because Quill reports to the business credit bureaus. So that would be business Equifax, business Experian, and business TransUnion. So there are essentially three different credit reporting agencies for personal credit and business. Okay,
And
so
it's
it's
the
two
same
separate things.
ones. Oh, but so is Quill another reporting agency just like the
Mm-mm.
others?
It's a reporting entity. So like
Okay.
American Express.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a vendor essentially. So they will tell you, hey, Stephanie has had this Quill account with us for 12 months and she has paid on time. She is paid in full and we give her a gold star. She's awesome. She is. She really is. But um So that would be like different. In addition to your trade references, so basically, in addition to how you pay your bills and how much you pay on your bills, they also like to see, and I don't want to say like as if it's like preference, but they also require that your business demonstrate credibility. Now, what do I mean by demonstrating business credibility? Demonstrating business credibility includes a few different things. So first, they want to see if you have like your email address, your business email address has your domain name in it. That sounds crazy, but they want to see Stephanie at preciseacctax.com versus preciseacctax@gmail.com.
Gmail. Excite.com.
There you go. You old as shit. What? Excite, not excite.
Went all the way back there.
Juno. So they want to see that you are established in a lot of different ways. So that would include having a mailing address. You know, it's really good if you can obtain a post office box that has a street address so it doesn't appear to be a post office box. It's better to show a live street address versus a P.O. box because it demonstrates that you're in business. Most likely to get something like that, you got to pay a couple of extra dollars for it. But if it supports your credit worthiness and it helps to build that credit profile for your business, it's worth it in the end. It's an expense, but more than likely, those type of expenses are things that you can deduct and write off as a deductible business expense anyway. So don't look at it like I don't want to spend the money because it's an investment in your business credibility. Okay. So the key to it ultimately is, of course, you still have to build and maintain your personal credit at all times. Your business, if you are incorporated as if you're registered as a LLC or something of that nature, then yeah, you're definitely going to want to build that separate from what you're doing personally. They're intertwined to some degree initially, but ultimately you can have an entirely different credit experience with your business than you have going on your personal side. And that's not to encourage anybody to be irresponsible because yeah, I'm gonna mess my credit up and I'm gonna go over here and run precise in the ground. Ha ha ha. No, we're not encouraging anything like that, but we're mostly trying to just outline the differences. Because a lot of people, I personally didn't know that until I was taught that. And I won't tell you when I found that out, but it was in the 2000s. All right.
So does the credit weight in business credit, is that the same as personal? Like, for instance, like it'll be your payment history, like how often you pay and how much you paying on time is 35% of your total credit score. Then the amount accounts, I'm sorry, not the amount accounts, the amount that you owe, right? How much did you owe compared to how much credit you actually have? So let's say you owe 50,000. How much of that 50,000 are you using? That's 30%, right? So the lower of that 50% you owe, the higher your credit score is, right? So you always want to be on the lower end of how much you actually owe. And then the length of credit, a lot of people don't know about this. The length of credit really does matter, right? Like how long have you maintained this credit, right? So like if you had a credit card for, let's say, 10 years, the one that you have for 25 years, that weighs way more than the ones you had 10 years. And what some people will notice is, like if they had a card for a long time, and let's say you finally paid it off, and you say, I don't want to use it no more, I don't want to be tempted. So you get that card cut off. What people would notice is your credit score will actually drop.
Drop, yes.
It would drop substantially. That's because the length of credit history goes down. It's the average of all your credit that you had together. So if that one you have for 15 years, you finally cut it off, well, guess what? Your average goes down.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I think you and I talked about that last. I was like, I'm paying all this shit off, all of it. You like,
right?
No,
you
wait.
know,
I'm like, but And sure enough, once I paid it off, Mrs. Arrington, we're gonna cut your credit limit by X, Y. Why? I thought you would reward me. They like, no, you basically are playing Monopoly with us and you decided to quit once you got up and we not playing like that. So goodbye. And yeah, no, I didn't like that. I was very mad about that.
Yep.
So
People don't know that. They wonder, like, how did my credit score go down? I just paid off my credit card and I cut it off. That's the problem. You cut it off.
and to answer your question, the scoring is a little bit different. So first of all,
Okay.
the scores, the range is a lot lower. For example, a good business credit score is only like a double-digit number versus what we think of on the personal side of 800. You're looking more like 83 on the business credit side. So the range is smaller. So they obviously are assessing a few different factors, and that's why the scoring system is a little bit different. But you're right. Length of credit history is a huge component that most people discount, and a lot of personal credit building information that you'll find will encourage you to use your account like as a trade line. So if you do have a 20-year card that you've had, no missed payments on forever and ever, you could actually add someone you trust or
Yeah.
someone who's paid you nicely as an authorized holder, just because that automatically reports to the credit bureau on their behalf. So that says that, hey, Dale, this my guy. That's my guy. He got them 30-year credit cards. Hey, bruh,
Mm-hmm.
put me on line one, right? And
That's
that'll
right.
immediately improve my score because number one, he's gonna have a credit card that has like low utilization, meaning
Yep.
he probably got 20% of that card charged and that's it. And he don't use it, but the credit is good and it's always paid on time. So I can benefit from that for a couple of months.
Yep.
And then he can take me off. He doesn't have to issue a card to me. It's not like
Yes.
he's
Do not issue the card. If you do this with anybody,
right.
do not issue
Don't
them
give
a
them
card.
a card because we're not saying that because they might go buck wild on you. But if you do it, like a lot of people speak about this in the context of adding their young adult children, don't send them. Put them on, don't even tell them
Yep. Yep.
until they need credit. Mommy, daddy, can you do this? Let's pull your credit. Let's see what you
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you don't send them a card. All right.
Yes.
So that's another way that you can help. And I stress it has to be somebody you trust. Okay.
Right. And I will also add this to add on to piggyback on what Steph just said. Uh, do it if you're going to do that. Do it now. Do it quick because credit bureaus, they're getting smart. They're getting hip to that. Right. This is not anything new. It's been happening for a long time, and they're getting hip to that. Right. And they know people are doing this, so they got ways that if they dig, they can find out if you're doing credit lending because that's you're doing. You're lending your credit. They can find out if you're credit lending, right? And they will still base your credit without that. They will subtract that credit lend from your history and then recalculate your score. They're getting
What?
hip to it. Yes, they're getting hip to it. If you want to do
Well,
it,
I know they're not watching this podcast, so y'all go ahead and listen to what we just said.
yeah. But if you're going to do it, go ahead and get it in now because that won't be forever. Yeah, they're getting really hip to that.
Yes. Okay. So in addition, I know they're not watching us yet. Hopefully by the time they see
No
this,
fluctuated yet.
y'all have slipped through our loophole and
Got
benefited.
1,000 subscribers. They'll be and you can
We rooting for
start
y'all.
monetizing. Yeah.
We rooting for y'all. I promise you. We rooting for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
We'll be there.
all right. I think that was a healthy discussion about credit and kind of giving our audience like the 101 base level education here. If you want any in-depth conversation about this, please leave a message in the comments and we'll get right back to ya.
And I would like to also
Now,
add on there, while you're in the comments, like and subscribe. Okay, just go
like and
there,
subscribe.
click the thumb up. It's real easy. Just click and hit that subscribe button.
And 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 the reason why we want you to know is because ultimately we're here to help you GYST. We're gonna help you get your shit together. In today's GYST, I would like to, take our discussion about risk management, credit worthiness, and credit management. I want to take it a step further and speak directly about risk management in the context of asset protection. Okay. Asset protection means insurance, plain and simple. You have got to insure your assets. You are already mandated by most states to insure your vehicle, which is a lot of people's, most prized possession. But sometimes we don't insure the singular most important thing, which is your life. There are a lot of people that don't have life insurance. Consequently, there's a whole nother group of folks that have not drafted a will of their intentions. A will basically expresses your intentions once you are not here to do so for yourself. If you're ever in a position where you can't advocate for yourself, your will speak for you. And the planning that you put into it or not will have implications that could outlast your legacy. Okay. I've had clients that unfortunately have passed away in the last few years. We are all on, pins and needles in terms of the pandemic and how this is going to play out. We have lost clients due to the pandemic and other unfortunate circumstances. And the most unfortunate part beyond their absence is watching how their families have responded to the loss of that life. There have been, situations in which there are property fights and different, misunderstandings that are like by and large unresolved because people didn't communicate their intentions in a way that is recognized by the state and recognized by like the Treasury Department. Because at the end of the day, it really, like they say, all you got to do is stay black and die and pay taxes for real. Because the Treasury Department is like, oh, I don't care. I need that last tax return, and I want whatever that person owed me for that. Yeah, I'm like, but they died. They don't care. Okay, it gets very, impersonal when you get to that point that you have died intestate. That means that you did not have a will. There are a lot of different forms of asset protection and wills and different trusts that can be established to protect your assets. But most importantly, what I'm trying to highlight is the importance of having something to speak for you and advocate for you and your wishes once you have gone on. It's a very unfortunate observation to see how money and things come between people.
Your families.
I know. And a lot of us, and I'm going to speak because I'm in the Black community, and I'm going to say it's unfortunate that we never talk about this. I mean, there are people who legit think, oh, you know what? The day that I make out my will, I'm going to die right here. So I ain't going to write it because I'm janky like that. I don't want to jinx myself, and you ain't going to put the bad bone on me. But it's really irresponsible. And I think that anybody who is of working age, if you have things, besides a car, if you have property, you got real estate, please do yourself and your family and loved ones a favor. Make a plan and write it down. let somebody know about it. And that way your wishes can be honored and respected. What's your thoughts and experience on that,
Absolutely.
Mr.
Well,
Walton?
we like you said, human beings, we all can go through it. You definitely want to be responsible and protect your assets, and either um, have enough insurance to take care of the things that you need, or that are going to help the people take care of the things you need after like your afterlife, or pre pre purchase everything. So I hate to be sound all gloomy, but you could pre-purchase your plots. You know what I'm saying? You can pre-purchase your burial service. You can have all that arranged. You know what I'm saying? So once that time does come, it's already arranged. And all they got to do is follow procedure at that point. Just kind of make it easier for the people who are here after you and have to take care. And then, like you said, you got to get that will done. You just have to get it done. Um, when you pass away, it makes things so much more easier at the end when other people have to acquire your assets. It makes it so much easier for them to acquire them and do what they need to do. Whether it's your wishes, like you might have written in your will for something to happen to your assets, you want to do something with them. It makes it easier for them people who are left or remaining to do that for you, you know. And the last thing you want to do is be a burden while you're, passed away. You're not even here. You're still being a burden on the living, So you definitely want to take care of that stuff earlier. And if you want to get the extra credit, make yourself a living revocable trust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And have everything put in the trust name, and then just make somebody a beneficiary of that trust. And when you pass, there's no paperwork, there's no anything. They automatically becomes everything that trust owns. They immediately become the owner. They're the beneficiaries of anything that you had to assign to that trust. So it's always a good idea to have something in place that just takes that burden off of your death. You know what I'm saying? It's gloomy, but it is what it is. It's going to happen one day. You don't want the people you love to have to suffer and struggle just to make that happen.
Yeah, and last but not least, a public service announcement to my friends and people that know me and rock with me. Guess what? If it's anything of mine that you want, ask me now. Ask me now. Ask me now. So I'll give it to you. Don't put my family in a position of having to decipher some shit that don't need to be deciphered. It makes it uncomfortable, and it's a bad look for all involved. So if y'all want any of my stuff, you can actually post in the comments right now what it is that you want, and I'm gonna drive to your house. No, I'm not doing any of that. What I'm but in all seriousness, take it seriously, y'all, because GoFundMe is not insurance. I've seen some people with some serious.
It's the hood insurance. Come on, Steph. That's the hood insurance.
With some serious hardships, and they got like $5 on their GoFundMe, and I'd be feeling bad. I'd be wanting to go out and sell fish plates. I'd be like, I don't know y'all over there, but y'all got $5. Don't nobody care because you don't write well enough, or your whatever didn't attract enough attention. So I don't want you to have your family relying on the sales of fish plates and GoFundMe. We don't want that for you guys. We want better for you. All right. Well, we did promise you guys a little treat, and I don't know if this is gonna be a treat or not, but hey,
it's a treat. It's a treat for all of them.
What else could go wrong at this point? So I'm going to I'm gonna be in the hot seat today. So we're gonna see how this shit fry up. All right. Deal.
All right. So, Miss Arrington.
Yes.
All right. So, just as you asked me last episode, I didn't get a chance. We ran out of time. The producers, they was in our ear telling us, we got to cut and everything. We didn't get to do the finish out. But I was supposed to interview you that way you interviewed me. So
Right, go
allow me
ahead.
to answer, for you to reciprocate some of those answers to me as I did, I just took over the whole last segment of the last episode, you know what I'm saying? So I
You know how
want
you
you to do
do.
this. I want you to do it this time. Let's ask you those same questions. And the producers, let me get the extra time, all right? Don't be up in my ear telling me, you know, don't be asking me to change my background because they commenting down there and stuff like that, all right? Social media, you're not going to get it.
Live
But
and
anyway,
direct from Lake, we don't know what. My co-host and co-star.
media, you are not going to make me change, all right?
You better I heard the wrap it up music. You better turn that off.
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up, B.
You better extend that
So,
shit, D.
look, so Miss Arrington, what was
Yeah.
your earliest memory of money?
All right. My earliest memory of money is from childhood. I was a little kid, less than 4 years old, and I used to have a bank. Okay. My bank looked like a safe. It was a little square, like a safe, like a
A little
little,
combination on the front.
yes. Yes.
Ah,
It was Big Bird yellow with a little red dial, right? And I used to have a stack of 50-cent pieces, and I
mhm.
used to like the sound that it made. Okay, so I would plop them into my little metal safe, plink, 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 plink. I don't know how many I had, and then I would sit there, after watching a good episode of Kojak or Beretta or some shit, right? And I would sit there and try to crack the safe. I listen for the tumblers. And I was
Oh,
at
you
this
was
point,
learning how to break into banks back then at 4?
it was mine. Look, and I didn't have no siblings yet. So I was still an only child. So I didn't have nobody to entertain me. But I had this little bank.
$5.
I'm like, so future Ocean's 11 queen over here,
Oh yeah, Ocean's
Oh
11. That's
yeah.
good.
So
Good Lord.
that's my earliest memory of money, that I had a yellow bank with plenty money. I felt like that thing was stacked to stacktivity. I probably had other coins in it too. All I cared about was those 50-cent pieces because they was heavy and I liked the sound of it.
That's right.
I ain't
They
gonna
felt
tell
right.
y'all. I tell y'all on another episode what happened to the money. I ain't trying to blast nobody and hurt feelings today. Well, maybe I might. I don't know. But anyway, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. Those 50-cent pieces. No, you know what? In my the pig the not the piggy bank, but the rabbit bank that I told you I had last week.
Bunny,
I used
the
to have a
bunny bank.
silver, right, the bunny bank. I had a silver dollar in there, and me and my brother each had a silver dollar. And like you said, that was the most valuable coin in there. More than the dollars, more than anything, it was those silver dollars. And it was hard. They felt heavy. They
That's
just
right.
felt more valuable. I don't know what it was. Just you didn't see them that often either.
And
So it made
notice
them
how we
rare.
both assessed some type of additional value to these pieces based on how they felt. That's some psychological stuff. All right, anyway, we're not going to talk them to death about my 50-cent pieces.
We know what quality felt like. So okay, so when you know, extending on from that, when did your parents teach you about money?
Whew. So I wasn't trying to tell this story, but I'm going to tell you what happened to the coins. One day,
Wait, she just had that one in the holster, just waiting, just to
always,
go ahead.
always. All right, so again, still same age range, still less than 5. I say that because I didn't have any siblings yet. I met my brother when I was 5. So sometime before I had a brother, but after I had my little yellow bag, one day my mom was like, let's go out, All right, cool. So we went out and we had the greatest time ever. It was the most unusual experience. We went and we took pictures. I still got pictures of this day to this very day. Turns out we went out Rosecroft.
The raceway?
Ooh, Rosecroft Raceway. Yes. You know it. Yes. So we went to Rosecroft Raceway. For those who are not from where we from, that's a horse racing track. And we had the most remarkable day. I mean, I love seeing the horses. Oh my goodness. They was fast and da 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 da. But I tell you what, when I got home, I ain't had nothing in my bank.
Guess who paid for it?
Mm, not a bank, not a crumb, nothing in the damn bank. So I'm like, somebody ripped me off. I'm a kid and I'm thinking I need to call Kojak and Beretta because somebody done just ripped me off of all my coins. Who in the world could it be?
You need to call Starsky and Hutch.
I still don't know. I don't know what happened to my money to this day, but Starsky and Hutch, Simon and Simon, shit, Magnum,
Luther
MacGyver,
has it all of them.
somebody. I need Uncle Jesse to come down here and find my damn coins. I don't know what happened to. I'm not going to assume what happened to my coins. I know we had a great day, and I got some pictures, but I don't have no money. So that kind of, one of the one of the lessons that I learned from my parent is that your money, my money. Surprise.
It was
Okay.
my money first.
Hey, I don't know about that. I didn't sign up for that, but that's what I did learn. Also, there was over the years, this was the basis of my education in struggle economics, as mastered by Professor Parent. Hi, Mom. Yeah, mom didn't have any reverence for money. Not to say that I have reverence for money. I don't care about money until I don't have any. And I think that comes from that. I get nervous when my number goes beyond what I've already told myself. If it go past this, then I'm like, But of course, anytime anybody asks me, I don't have nothing.
Right.
I don't want anybody thinking that I have anything because there's a trust component that comes with that lesson as well. So it's like, I don't want you to see me sitting over here caressing these 50-cent pieces like this. I don't want you to see that because then you think I have something and you're going to either take it or ask me for it. So we just keep that all to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, what was your biggest money mishap?
Oh shit, we ain't even got into me. I thought you was talking about my childhood. Let me tell you what I did. Listen, let me tell you something. All right. I have had a lot of what you would call money mishaps, but one of the first earliest things that I would dare admit to on this call is I broke a lease. I broke a lease when I had roommates. So it was the four of us. We had
In
a
DC.
swanky, yeah, we had a swanky
I remember that joint.
over in Southwest Washington D.C. on the waterfront, and this was our senior year of college. And
I had multiple floors and all that.
that's right. It was a split level penthouse apartment with rooftop access. Before that was a thing. Okay, we was doing it big in 1995, y'all. And towards the end of the lease, I decided, well, I want to have my own apartment. And so I can't pay y'all the last month of this rent because I need that for my first month rent. Bye. Now that's some dirty stuff to do. Now I say that in the context of the fact that I have long since cleared that up. And these former roommates are highly regarded, wonderful women who I love dearly. And they had forgiven me and accepted reimbursement and allowed me to come crawling back. But these are also things that, at the age of 21, they're predicated on some of the lessons you learned earlier. So in the struggle economics model, lease breaking ain't a thing. It's all like we moving tomorrow. In fact, tonight, we gonna move overnight. Like today, the 29th, we would be moving like tomorrow. Because the first coming and we don't have it. So in my mind, that justified, well, look, I'm trying to move to my other spot. Mind you, I end up not keeping that apartment, but for like 6 months. Why? Same type of thinking, and end up abandoning the apartment, and they threw all my stuff out. So
no,
I was planning on coming back. They didn't know that because I didn't communicate that to anyone. And had I asked them and talked to them about what my situation was, more than likely they would have, gave me some type of concession and say, hey, you can double up on this and pay this and that. We'll let you keep the spot and we're not going to toss your shit in the trash. But touche.
No. I was coming right back. You ain't know? Come on,
I
I was coming right
was.
back.
My clothes was in the dryer, man. Damn.
I was getting ready to just about to come back.
I was just about to start thinking about starting to pay you and thinking about that. No. Trash. That was a trash mentality, and that's why that did not work. Fortunately, I was able, to redeem myself and recover. But I just want people to know that, sometimes them early childhood lessons will spill over into your early adulthood and cause problems. All right.
Never happened
Transparency.
again.
Never to have happened again, I assure you.
Got that out the way. So you had to learn.
That's right.
You had to learn today so you can prosper tomorrow. That's how that works.
It's warm in here.
Because you're in a hot seat. That's why that seat is hot. With a fire emoji, man. We need to get some graphics in here. Production. We need some graphics in here. Okay, so put that on fire. Put that on fire right now.
Security, get him.
Yeah. All right. So, what would you teach your younger self about money? If you're just going back, and it could be anything. It could be your 25-year-old self. It could be your, I ain't gonna age you too much. I'm gonna stop at 25. Your 21-year-old self. It could be your 15-year-old self. What would you go back and say to little Steph Arrington? Oh, you was something else back then.
Little Steph Mac.
Little Portia Pinky. You can go back to Portia Pinky days if you want to. Say Portia Pinky. You should say this in that bar because this bar will hit harder if you say that. I came back just to tell you that.
Right. In fact, I would tell little Portia P, like, listen.
Come back just to rewrite a bar.
First of all, real G's move in silence like G and lasagna. Keep your mouth shut. Mind the business that pays you. And don't let nobody see where you keep your money at. Okay. No. Actually, what I would
actually a pretty good thing to go tell somebody. Shoot, I tell myself that. Okay, I tell myself all that. Yeah. Really? Don't move in silence?
Like the G and lasagna. Yeah. That was
lasagna.
No, okay, no, seriously. If I were to go back and tell 21-year-old Steph, I would say, take the money that you was stiffing them on and go put a contract on one of these houses over here on the Southwest waterfront. Keep it. It probably would have cost me like $50,000 to get a unit over there at that time. That joint blew up.
Where are you talking about that?
Southwest waterfront, where I used to live.
Oh, waterfront. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That joint's changed. You been over there recently?
Yes, I have.
I
know. So that's what I would have told 21-year-old self. Do not be afraid of real estate investments. It sounds hard. It's harder really to get a damn apartment than it is to get a house, especially if your credit is good and you got some money and a job. You can get a house that will probably cost you less in a mortgage payment than rent these days. I would have definitely,
especially these days,
I would have definitely looked into real estate as a first option over an apartment if I had to go back. And the first stuff applied to. Definitely don't never tell nobody where you keep all your money at. Don't tell nobody nothing. Well, no, that ain't right, because I'm in the office and your ass in the lake. I'm gonna die. So
I got water, nigga. I got all the water. This side good because I got water. You got like a little cup of coffee, and that's about it. That's all you. Good luck trying to put out that blaze with that cup.
You know? Run, Forrest, run.
I'm just like this.
Screenshot. I got memes for 5 cents tomorrow. 5 cent deal memes, y'all.
I'm in
2 for $5.
Buddy. Social media, don't be talking about my background. I'm serious. I'll come fight every last one of y'all.
He might have your IP address right now.
I'll tell you, I'm in computers. I'll find where you at. I don't think you're gonna hide behind the damn computer and hit
All right,
mass.
before we get some type of harassment charge, we're gonna let y'all go. I'm not gonna hold you.
Monetized.
And once again, I'm your illustrious host, Stephanie Arrington, for the Dirty Money Talk, sponsored by Precise Business Solutions, and my illustrious, I love to say illustrious, my illustrious co-host, Bill Walt, baby. That's right. We see y'all next week. Be safe. Take care, y'all.
Swimming in the lake. Holla.
Bye.